There is a huge difference between being kind to yourself and lying to yourself, and you can disguise them as both. You're probably being a little idiot right now, a little degenerate, sweaty in your bed sheets. And you have to look in the mirror and accept it. Now, this isn't the same as beating yourself up, because beating yourself up is essentially giving yourself permission to sit in a pit of self-pity, and then you'll know better than when you were not acknowledging it in the first place. Because you're basically saying, woe me, I'm so terrible, I'll never change myself. Shut up. Genuinely, please, just zip it. Look, sometimes convincing yourself everything okay can be nice. Because recently, I've been proving a point to myself that no matter how much of a degenerate I may act, I'm still going to get up. I'm still going to do all the things I need to do, because I used to not be able to do that. If I messed up, if I watched adult content, or if I drank or whatever, it would affect me for days. I'd probably end up skipping the gym. I'd feel like a little weakling. But recently, I've been able to do those things, still get up and be like, yeah, I still feel great because I'm pushing forward. I wouldn't feel great initially, but I get productive things done anyway. Now, this is good to an extent, because this means you're not going to make excuses for yourself when you're being a little weakling, and you're not going to let it define you. However, once you get to a point of knowing that you'll still push forwards no matter what, then you need to stop doing these stupid things. Because yes, it's not going to stop you. However, you could be so much better. And that needs to be enough. Do you want to be the best that you can be? Or do you want to be exactly where you are, because you have to keep looking for things to improve? So say you're like me and you stopped beating yourself up so much when you do stupid things. Cool, that's improved yourself, but now you've reached another plateau. You're not beating yourself up for doing these things, these degenerate, stupid things. Cool, how about you stop doing these degenerate, stupid things? Because yeah, it doesn't matter, because I'm so cool and I'll do all these things. Yeah, but you could be better. And that's the truth. Sometimes you need to be honest with yourself, because the ego will try and do one of two things: either keep you weak and keep you hating yourself, or keep you loving yourself, or trying to. But the thing is, when you're loving yourself and it's fake, when you're convincing yourself you love yourself, it never feels as good as it should. There's a hole in your stomach, in your heart. You listen to those egotistical music songs as you walk strut down the street, and it may convince you that you actually love yourself while you're listening to it, but it's not the same. The feeling doesn't last as long. As you know why? It's because you're lying to yourself, because there's something you are doing in your day-to-day life that is itching away at you. And yeah, you're still an animal, you'll still get up and do these things. But don't ignore it when your subconscious is trying to improve you. Listen. And I'm not saying you're not going to slip up. If you stop doing these things and then you fail and fail again, yes, use the techniques you've used before to not beat yourself up, but don't give up. And that's the really hard part. Because once you convince yourself you're going to be okay no matter what you do, you start allowing yourself to be less disciplined with certain things, because it doesn't matter, I'll be okay anyway. That was never the point. The point was to try and be better, to try your hardest to be better, and then the occasional times you slip up, you wouldn't beat yourself up for it. But now you've used that as an excuse to not try as hard as you can. You're not even slipping up anymore, you're choosing to do these things as a vice. This happened to me recently. I put my hand up. But the other day I had a serious talk with myself. In fact, these 2 days, if you watch my last videos, these 2 days when my ankle's been messed up and I've not been able to work physically, it's given me time to be with my mind. And the truth is, if I can only be happy with myself when I'm being physical, when I'm pushing forwards, that means I'm not happy with myself mentally. Not all the time. Only when I'm pushing forwards. That's a problem. So I'm actually quite grateful for it. Think about the analogy. You're a bird. You're a phoenix. You're flying high into the sky. You've hit a cloud layer. You've hit a layer of clouds that's so dark, you don't actually know that you're high up anymore, and it's so thick, you can almost convince yourself you're actually not in the sky and you're back in the void. And in the cloud layer, there's all these voices in your head, these demons telling you that you should go back down because look, you've reached a negative part. You should stop pushing because now you've pushed yourself too far. You're not even high up in the sky. And what you do is you ignore them. You tell them to shut up, You tell them to bring more, and you keep rising until eventually you realize you were just inches away from seeing the sun again. When your brain wants you to improve, it will let you know. And don't you dare ignore it, because it will fester in you. And you can't ignore it for long. Lads, be honest with yourself. Stop lying to yourself. And it will hurt initially. Like doing a rep at the gym. But it will not hurt as much as the existential depression you will get from slowly rotting on the inside. My G, I appreciate you. Look after yourself and say less. Do more. Hasta luego.